Yeah, please.
I don't know what to talk about.
We just talk about how the parents in India they go discipline their kids.
Yeah, parents in India, they want you to be like to study, and they want you to have respect for the elders, and um, respect for everyone else. So they're trying to teach you and discipline you in every manner. So like it could range from like people who are like middle class. They'll also want you to have like manners where like table manners, like manners in home, how to keep your home. So just as like a lesson they want you to have when someone is at their home, they treat their guests well. So if you're like a guest in a country, they'll treat you as like you're a guest in their home. So they're actually gonna be really nice to the fact that they're gonna think you're gonna think that they're treating you as strangers, but they're really trying to treat you as guests, and just be really nice to you. So
do you think that's something that comes from the middle class family, or normally all the family will do that?
What do you mean?
I mean that middle class family will just give more discipline to their
yeah. Middle class, like that's like the average kind of family, like because like most people you meet are gonna be middle class either, or like if they're super rich, their kids are gonna be super spoiled.
Okay.
So like on an average, like not every person, but I'd imagine like if people are rich here, they're gonna be spoiled, but in India, it's gonna be like extreme. So like they're gonna be even more spoiled, I feel.
In India?
Yeah.
The super rich?
Yeah.
Why? How do you feel that? How could you feel, cause?
Well, actually, I can't really compare like people in America and people in India. Like if they're rich, they're bound to be spoiled. Like middle class people, they're trying to discipline you, like to have value for money, at the very least. So that, like, I think teaching the value of money also teaches you a lot of other things, which is why they're trying to discipline you in all the other respects. So you're trying to they're trying to push you to study because they're middle class, and they want you to earn well for yourself, because the family inheritance is not gonna get you anything in middle class families in India.
They will not give you something.
Like the inheritance, like even if they're gonna inherit something, they want you to like earn for yourself. So like my dad is a lawyer.
Your dad is a lawyer?
Yeah, my dad is a lawyer. Like my parents are lawyers. They're not businessmen, so they can't hand me something which is gonna be sustainable. So like businesses are usually sustainable. So if someone starts like Bill Gates, if he started Microsoft, so he has the option of giving their kids Microsoft. Even though he doesn't want to, he still has the option of giving that. But people who are like middle class, usually if they do, if they're working class, if they're not businessmen, they can hand you. They don't have the option of handing anyone like their kids an inheritance that's sustainable. So they can only allow you to study for yourself and get knowledge, and then try to use that. So I went in a different field altogether, but they pushed me to study all throughout.
But what about the houses? Will your parents buy a lot of houses, or the middle class in India will buy a lot of houses, and the houses keep on rising, the price of the houses just to keep on rising, so you can have a very good properties to inherit?
Oh yeah, that's always gonna happen, because like the population is just growing. So you keep on gonna like make new houses. like build new structures and.
Yeah, so I want to know that what happened in India. The house price keeps on rising, or what about those? I mean that usually how will the middle class spend money on education, and what else?
Yeah, they like to spend most of their money for at least for their kids on education. And well, Indians like to save a lot of money. So like in middle class families, you'll see like people have a minimalistic kind of lifestyle, and they don't want to lavishly spend money. Not like they want to like save like this, save like they're stingy, but they're not gonna spend on something too fancy. They're gonna spend on something. So if there's like a family of 2 people, they're not gonna buy like a 5-bedroom apartment, but like they're gonna buy like 2-bedroom apartment, which is like only good for them. So they're gonna only spend like.
But how to make the investment? You know, usually Chinese people like to buy houses, not because of the like too fancy or too wasted their money. Sometimes they just take it as kind of investment, you know, because the houses keep on rising. So if you have more house, yeah, it's a kind of investment, like stocks. So that's kind of investment. So I just want to know that what kind of investment you Indians will do.
Oh, in real estate, like so there's places where there's a lot of industrialization, and the property value is like really increasing in those areas. I live in New Delhi, and I used to live in New Delhi. Now I've moved to a city which is really close to New Delhi. It's called Gurgaon, and the industrialization is like taking like a toll on there. So like people are trying to move their work there, so the property value has like skyrocketed. Like 10 years ago, this apartment community, if you buy a condo there, it's gonna be like 1 crore rupees, which is like I don't know. It's like $1 million or something, maybe around that. And
the houses.
Yeah. So and like this is like one example of a house is in the city.
So you just make our houses
in
as
10
example.
years, the value of that property got tenfold.
Just take this house as example. How much will it cost you in?
Oh, this is like too big of a house to buy in India. Like
bigger house.
In the main city, it'll cost like so like in New Delhi, this will probably cost like 10 million. I don't know.
10 million.
10 million.
10 million. I prefer to stay here. So I think that Indian people should be very rich.
The value is, I think, in US, it'll be like at least 10 times in India, in the main city. Like it'll be like New York.
But
so
we are so close
to this house in New York.
But we are so close to the Washington D.C. That's also the capital.
Right.
Yeah.
But in India, still like, if you buy a house in New Delhi, it's gonna be expensive. If you buy a house in Gurgaon, it's gonna be expensive. Bombay, it's gonna be expensive. Like similar to like how it is here in New York.
I understand, but there should be so many rich people in New Delhi.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have like really big houses. They have like bungalows, we call it. So it's like this house, and they have like each floor. It's like 4 or 5 floors. The highest market value property in the world, it's an Indian property. That for a residential property. If you look it up, it's Mukesh Ambani's house. It costs $1 billion. And it's in the center of Bombay. Like it's in the center of Mumbai.
Oh my!
And I think it's like 20 stories tall or something. But
so New Delhi is a very big city.
New Delhi, it's not a.
It's a modern one.
It's not really big. It's actually part of a big it's like the capital area. Like it's not too big of a
So
city.
it looks
it's really
like
popular.
Washington D.C. or just New York City?
Yeah, it's like Washington D.C.
It's like Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Okay, very quiet.
So Bombay, you could take it as like the
Is it safe?
in Delhi.
Mm-hmm.
For well, there's been like incidents like it's kind of unsafe for women. So like
It's unsafe for women?
yeah. So there's been like incidents where
That's true. I just read the newspaper about some bad stories about the raping on the bus. Is that the true story?
yeah, they're true stories.
True stories?
Yeah, that doesn't happen like in like every corner of Delhi. Like so my family wasn't like in the like super middle, like they weren't in the lower middle class,
Mm-hmm.
and we never used to travel in those buses, so we might be like completely not aware of a lot of it, but like once you read something like that and watch it enough on news, you'll know it's like pretty common. So it's more common than a lot of other cities in India.
Mm-hmm.
So New Delhi and Bombay, these are like the more populated cities, and stuff like this happens like every now and then.
Is it
So it's
normal
not-
that the middle
it's not
class
very safe. Like something like this has happened with like travelers also.
travelers
Yeah.
happened? It happened to the travelers? I mean, oh, you mean that the raper it's not the citizen, just the travelers? Who is the
Like-
travelers?
Like the victims are travelers.
Oh, victims are
Yeah.
travelers. So it's still dangerous to travel
Yes, it's
in.
so dangerous. So.
It's dangerous to travel in New Delhi.
Yeah, like you have to be mindful of that. So I mean, it's not like there is a chance that like you might encounter people who are like who don't have any manners, but like majority of the middle class people. So like people who are they're like bad people. They'll be like really lower class. They'll belong to like really lower class families, and
So what's the proportion of the middle class and the lower class?
I'm not exactly sure, but
Don't have
so
to be
look
exact.
at it like this. Like if like I have a sister, and my parents wouldn't send her in like public transport
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't feel safe in Delhi like that.
Okay.
They would always have a driver assigned,
Okay.
like to take. Like me being a guy, like I would have some liberty, so like I would take public transport if I want to see my friends. They'll still check up on me, like they'll
Okay.
call me, like that's why their like parents are like super like they're like a lot of parents are like super conscious about their kids, so they'll like call you like, did you reach there safely to your friend's place?
Oh yes. So the public transportation is not that safe. Usually.
Yeah, it can be risky.
What happened to the policeman?
I'm sorry.
Policeman?
The placement?
Policeman.
Oh, the policeman. Yeah.
What happened to them?
They like. Well, there's a lot of crimes that happen, and then police try to enforce it. But there's been some incidents where police can't be everywhere. First that's the thing, and then there's some corruption in India.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one incident where one of the guys, well, it's not related to like raping or anything, but there's an illegal thing that happened recently where a few years back, Vijay Mallya, he took a loan to start an airlines company.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Kingfisher, and he also has a business, alcohol business,
Mm-hmm.
which alcohol business was doing well, but the airlines company failed.
Mm-hmm.
So all his money he went bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he went bankrupt because the airlines company didn't do well, but he still borrowed a lot of money, which he couldn't repay.
Mm-hmm.